Hi guys, my name is Peter and welcome to our channel. Today I'd like to show you my entire collection for SEGA Game Gear. Here I got the system itself. It's in pretty good shape. Like you know, SEGA Game Gear was first time been introduced in April 1991 and was been in production through April 1997. For those 6 years, total unit been sold 10.6 million. Introduction price was $149.99, almost twice as much as a original Game Boy. And of course, we're not gonna compare this system to original Game Boy because it's kinda not fair comparison. Anyway, I really like that system. Currently I have 75 games, which for someone probably sounds a lot, for someone's gonna sounds like it's not much. The thing is, I believe in United States being released around 300 games. Pretty much one quote I got over here. Eventually, I hope my collection will keep growing. Also, I do have some accessories. First, I'd like to show you magnifier glass. It's kind of big and bulky, and it's really funny the way it mounts, the way it performs. But I'm gonna show you later how it mounts. Then I also have a TV tuner. That's the second revision, and I believe that second revision it's only been introduced in Japan or so. Maybe I'm not quite 100% positive on that one, but it's pretty cool device. You can watch back then you can watch TV channels on your Game Gear. Even on a Game Gear screen, it's a 3.2 inch and 160 by 144 resolution, which is not much, but still kind of cool back then. To plug it in, you pretty much remove it cartridge and slide it in. It will locks. You will not pull it back until you put it that level and then pull it out. And these days the TV actually, let me plug it in again. It's like I said, it's a second revision of TV tuner. It's a digitally assortion for channels, but it's not using digital channels. It's still analog channels, because back then when TV tuner was being introduced, there was no such a thing digital channels like right now. Pretty much this device is kind of just collection item. It's pretty much useless, but because it has a TV antenna in, AVI in, you can plug it in, and with cables, with AVI cables you can use for PS3, and I believe even you can find a cable for Xbox 360. Pretty much on the tiny screen with poor resolution you can play PS3 games if you really desire. It's kind of cool. And let's see, yeah, the TV tuner was pretty cool. I remember 20 something years ago I was using for watching TV. It's a lot of fun. Also, I do have Game Genie. Game Genie is a cheating device. If you didn't know, back then in 90s, Game Genie was being introduced pretty much for almost every platform back from 89 to 93, I should call, or so. Game Genie was being made also for regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Game Gear. As far I know, there was no Game Genie for Sega Master. There was no Game Genie for Atari Jaguar. There's no such a thing. And for N64, PS4, PS1, Sega Saturn, there was a Game Shark. It's a similar device to that. It's a cheating device. Anyway, this guy, like I said, it's pretty cool. It's kind of really beautiful the way they design it. Nice rounded design, similar to Game Gear itself. And when you plug it, it feels like and it looks like the unit really made for, and it's really made for Game Gear, especially with that glass portion you can see through, which at that time no one used it for anything. I did kind of use it for something, and I was gonna show you. Also on the back side has a one button, cartridge slot, and you open a little compartment, there's a little tiny book. The tiny book is a cheating book code, pretty much. It's a second edition, and I believe in the whole lifespan for Game Gear, Game Genie, there was 3 or 4 revision of that book. Pretty much, if you have all books, all 3, all 4, I believe it's all 3, you can fit in that compartment no problem, and you will good to go for probably a couple hundred games or so. This tiny book, it contains 60 games, cheat codes. Let's see. Yes, it is 60 games, and the text is pretty small fonts. But then when you open it, page for the game itself and codes and the description of what the codes means, they are kind of pretty big. But believe me, if you pull in that books quite often, it will fall apart because it's glued kind of poorly, and it's a pretty small one. What I did back 25 years ago or so, I write down those codes, and with a label maker, let me show you. Yeah, no, not the game. The label, I make it and put it on the back of a side cartridge itself. Why I did that? That case, when I slide it in, I will see the code itself through that window glass. It's kind of fancy. Plus, I mean, that case when you power it, let's power it, and let's push it front button, the green one, that's light status, and that case I can type it, just seeing through glass what the code is, and pretty much you see the idea itself, how it works. Let's see. Actually, that's the E. And then you push start. If you want to push it, apply it a second code or third code, you're good to go. I mean, it's only 3 codes can hold it at the same time. You push it start, it will boot in, and the status light on Game Genie it changed to green. That means the codes activate and the game starts already with codes. Anytime if you want to come back to menu, let's see, actually the back button, it's turn it on, turn it off, Game Genie itself. Basically enable or disable the codes system. You can play with codes or you can play without. If you push it green button, you will come back to a code menu again, and the code you entered already is already there. And if you want to edit additional code, I mean, you will, I'm sorry, I bumped it compare. You will be good to go. Pretty much, like I said, it's pretty cool system, pretty good Game Genie itself, and I really like it the way they implement that glass. And like I said, probably no one used it the way I did back then and the way I'm using right now. But still, kind of, like I said, it's really handy to put label on the back, and in that case when you type it code, it's right there when you need it. I mean, it's really cool. Let's attach it magnifier glass, and in that case you will see how it works. To be honest, I do have that magnifier glass, and before 20 years ago or so I did have a different one, which it doesn't have a screw. It doesn't require, it has like a metal clamp. You just clamp it. This one, on the one hand, I like it better. Let me put the screw back. Let me power it. And in that case, we all can see, I'm sorry about that light reflection. I'm just gonna try to hold it like that. I don't know if it's really helps. Why I'm saying that? Because on a Game Gear, the screen, It's not that small. It's 3.2. It's pretty good. On a Sega Genesis Nomad it's 3.5, but Sega Genesis Nomad is 320 by 240. On this guy, like I mentioned before, the resolution itself is still 160 by 140, which is not that much. Let me unscrew it, and yeah, I'm gonna show you without. And this Game Gear, it's in really, like I mentioned before, it's in really good shape. Very low mileage. All capacitors good as new. The picture quality, you can see that's exactly what was 20 years ago. Pretty much on the front panel we have a D button, 2 action buttons, start. On top, let me turn it down volume control, a headphone jack, extension port for second player unit. Pretty much you plug it, if you have a special cable you can plug it second unit, kind of pair it. I mean power supply, you hook it up here, and power switch on off, and brightness. I mean pretty much that's a full darkness, you're going back, and that's a full brightness. Somewhere in the middle it's right on. Speaking about battery, originally it was designed for 6 alkalines, and it's holding, like I showed you before, 3 battery in each side. And those battery was factory spec, good for 3-5 hours. In my opinion, with those rechargeables, I believe it's good for 4.5 hours plus or so. Some people saying it's not enough. In my opinion, around 4 hours, 4.5 is not so bad, because Nintendo Switch right now it's running around 3.5 hours. It depends what game you're running. Basically, Game Gear, it's kind of runtime. If you're using 2 amp battery or so, it's better than Switch. Anyway, then also I do have carrying case. And carrying case, that's like aftermarket one back then. It doesn't have any logo for Game Gear saying or anything. Pretty much on the biggest compartment there's straps to hold it Game Gear, and this on this side pretty much it has that compartment. 10 cartridges can fit, and also looks like 10 cartridges can fit here. Also here it has another packet, and here I hold it, keeping my magnifier glass, and a little one here, usually instruction. I still have even original Game Gear instruction. Pretty much it's a one big sheet of paper folded multiple pages, and shows you the way battery you have to put it, the way cartridge go, all switches, what they do, how to pair it, 2 systems together. It's kind of straightforward. I mean, it's pretty useful if you're not really sure how to use it. But speaking about games, like I said, I have 75 games, which probably not much, or someone's gonna say, wow, it's a lot. Actually, to be exact, I should call 74 games. Why? Because I do have Sonic the Hedgehog in 2 cartridges. Two identical cartridges. And you probably gonna ask, why I need 2 of them? One cartridge is not enough? The thing is, the Sonic the Hedgehog, the first Sonic the Hedgehog for Game Gear, not many people knows, but was being made in like 2 revisions. It's the same game. Actually, it's the same game. They play identically same, but Game Genie codes for 1 revision. It has 1 style codes. For example, you not can edit in Infinity Lives or some other options. On a second revision, you can do that. Yeah, in this one, Infinity Lives, it never lose a ring. On this guy, it doesn't have those options. Even they looks identical. Besides the back cover is a little bit different. but they were both manufactured in Japan. They both is a SEGA games. I mean, it's like I said, they play identically same, but for Game Genie cheat codes, they have different ones, completely different, I should call. Then of course I do have the Sonic the Hedgehog 2. How I can be without, right? Then I do have a Sonic and Chaos, what it's called. Then I do have a Sonic Spinball. It's pretty good game too. And I do have a Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble. It's pretty good game too. To be honest, in my collection I have a lot of good games. Let me show you a couple more games. Of course, how you can be without Chuck Rock 1 and Chuck Rock 2, Son of Chuck. That's awesome games. I really like it. I do have those games on Sega Genesis, and I mean, I love those games. Well, guys, all my game list, I mean, pretty much I will post it in this video also. I hope this video was kind of fun. I hope you like it. If you do, thumbs up. If you don't want to miss any future videos, subscribe. We will really appreciate it.